Hello and welcome to the first July issue of the ClusterAPI Node Bootstrapping working group. Very small working group gravitating around making bootstrapping nodes more flexible using multiple configuration approaches. And we have 2 meetings a month. This is the first one. The second one will be in the third week of July. We're a working group in ClusterAPI, which is a CNCF project, and as such we adhere to the CNCF code of conduct. Basically, be nice to each other. With Matt and I in this meeting today, won't have any issues with. Yeah. So let's get started. Matt, you want to say something before I share the agenda?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I missed the last one. I'm trying to stay in the loop here. I haven't had much to contribute, but I don't want to. I want to at least know what's going on. So when I do have some time, or when it seems appropriate, I can actually help out. It seems like Johannen's made a lot of progress. I'm pretty impressed. I know he said that basically we've caught up with Cluster API V1 Beta 2. And when I was mumbling about that a couple of meetings ago, that seemed like a significant amount of work. So that's really encouraging to hear that we're actually caught up with that because it's fine. The dust is also finally starting to settle. So he's
Mhm.
probably done the majority of the work necessary.
Nice. Yeah, I was very happy about that as well. And
Yeah.
that's basically the only news I have for today, but just for completeness. And so we haven't seen it at least once in the meeting. I'll just share the agenda. If I
Sorry, I
can.
didn't mean to spoil the news there, but yeah.
No, no, no. I mean, this is fine. It's the right thing to do. All right. So yeah. So we don't have much. There's a bit of housekeeping in that. Basically work new people into the project, and I actually want to add the other repository that Johanna is working on to the list here as well. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so there's let's call it kind of the main repo that we're gravitating around, that we gravitated around in the past, and this is basically a more or less ignition-centric optimization of the kubeadm bootstrap provider. But in order for this to cleanly integrate with upstream cluster API, there needs to be changes in upstream cluster API to, have the flexibility to have multiple bootstrap providers, and that work is happening in this other repo here. And so the news today, which Johanna asked me to bring into this meeting because sadly he couldn't make it today, is that he rebased that work in progress branch on the latest cluster API main. And we now have support for V1 Beta 2 and cluster API. And there were some concerns both on the cluster API side from the core maintainers there, as well as in this loop on the amount of work that this would imply. But well, yeah, Johanna finished that pretty well. And people joining the project now have basically the latest and greatest cluster API to base their work on.
Do you know, pardon me, I assume that means that this is just targeted towards V1 Beta 2 now, and we're not worried about V1 Beta 1, or are we trying to support both?
No, I don't think it makes sense to add backwards compatibility in that way because we still don't have it in upstream, right? So we would
Yeah.
we would need the Bootstrap provider rework that even allows us this wiggle room upstream first, and then we could base our work of the ignition-centric kubeadm Bootstrap provider on that upstream support. So I think that's the right order of things.
Yeah.
And since that isn't merged, I don't think backwards compatibility is interesting right now. And I mean, right now we have Ignition, even though only 2.0 support in core cluster API, and that's fine for the time being. And we're kind of solving a architecture legacy problem with this whole work. And it'll be include it when it's ready, right? There's really no need for backwards compatibility because we're not
Yeah.
adding a feature, right?
Right. Just trying to, yeah. No, I think that's the right thing to do. I was just curious. I mean, I can answer also, I need to look at the code and answer my own question, but that makes sense.
No,
Uh,
if asking is so much faster than looking, I think asking is the right way to do. So,
well, I mean, I'm trying to get Cap Z up to date with V1 Beta 2, and it's fairly difficult just to do that. So, got to pick one.
hmm. All right. Yeah. Anything else we want to discuss?
Nothing for me.
Awesome. Quick one then. All right. Yeah. I mean, looking forward in hearing from you and the ventures into the Bootstrap provider rework next time around. And until then, there are no new to-dos. And we're good for the time being. For everybody watching this video, please consider joining the effort. We're looking for contributors. But as you see, we're trying to keep our base and our foundation fresh. So you're not stepping into a legacy project, but you're working on latest and greatest. All right.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. And
Thanks.
see you on Slack. Bye.
See you soon.